Hello, what's up? Testing, game noise. Hello, this is Lasu. We're going to rate the best games of 2024 today. Yeah. Anyway, so let's start with headphones. Let's start. So the best games of 2024. This was not a good year for gaming. Honestly, it was terrible. Everything was all over the place, and I did not enjoy it. So yeah, it's going to be one of those years for gaming. So first things first, Elden Ring Shadow of the Earth. It's just a DLC. This is not even a contender for Game of the Year because it's a DLC. You have to be at the end game to be able to play it, and it's not fun. It's not fun, and you can choose the whole DLC with a build that I'm going to put over here as well. Metaphor Fantasio, it's really good that it's an RPG and that it returns to the roots of turn-based RPGs, and it proves that turn-based RPGs can still make it in today's landscape. So that is a really good thing. Yeah. So Metaphor Fantasio, I would put it like in my top 5 of 2024. That would be a really good. That's a really good. It's a pretty decent, a really decent game. Astrobot is it's a tech demo that is very similar to what do you call it, like Super Mario Odyssey and Galaxy, and it copies a lot of things that other games have already done, and for that reason it doesn't get a lot in originality. The thing is that yeah, the gameplay is fun because it's gameplay that is proven to be fun. The gameplay of the Mario 3D Mario games has always been fun, and this game does that, but it only does that for like the game is like at most 10 hours long. If you rush it, it's like 5 hours long. So it's not a lot to make a game out of that BS. So Astrobot, not a good. Metaphor Fantasio has a lot of kind of pseudo Marxist propaganda about equality, and I wouldn't call this game woke, but it has some of that kind of content. You know what I mean? So yeah, it has kind of like that Marxist propagandistic style to it. It's not that it is about that, but it's clearly inspired a little bit by the French Revolution, and the French Revolution did have some socialistic, or pre-socialistic, pre-socialist tendencies, and they are reflected in this game, which is fine. You can make a game based on any period of time in the world, and shit, the French Revolution. This game is trying to be very akin to the French Revolution, but because of that, it's going to have a lot of elements that are like semi-woke, semi-DEI, and all that shit. So I didn't like that aspect of the story. I didn't think the story was very deep. Also, at the very end, you realize that you are in basically a post-apocalyptic Tokyo, and that is not really good. But the combat is fine. Okay, it revamps the 4 homies in a row, that type of gameplay, the 4 in a row type of gameplay, and that is a good thing. And it showcases that the style of turn-based RPGs can still be done and successfully in today's day and age, right? So yeah. Animal Well didn't play it. I don't play Indie Swap, so no care. This is a Video Game Donkeys game, I think. And yeah, it's a funny guy, but indie games are usually not very good. And this is mostly like an art gallery kind of thing instead of a more gameplay-focused game. It's people forgotten at first glance, but you enter into the most reality becomes and shit. Like, who cares, right? Like style does not sell a game anymore. It's not gameplay. Gameplay should sell a game. This is just like Solitaire with freaking with card effects and shit. Don't care about it. Gameplay is fucking thing bilateral. Just so you can see, like 2 games here are indies, and the fact that this is the case, it means that this year in video games wasn't good. 2024 was terrible for games. Destiny 2 pairs, DLC, same as the other thing. And anyway, if there were to be a top 1 game of the year for me, it would be like, it's possibly a good contender for that is Dragon's Dogma 2. Because although Dragon's Dogma 2 wasn't super good, it didn't surpass Dragon's Dogma 1, because Dragon's Dogma 1 is way faster. It's a very RPG experience. It has a better class system, because the classes, most classes, not all, can use 2 weapons, right? Like either a shield and a main weapon, or they can use staffs. The main class can use staffs. And also the Strider class, you can use bow and daggers from the get-go, from the start of the game, which is really good. Having class that use 2 weapons in the game is super fun, and you can only do that in Dragon's Dogma 2 if you are at the end game, like with the Warfire. It's called the class that class that can use 2 weapons. But yeah, all the other classes in Dragon's Dogma 2 in the sequel that is supposed to be building from the previous game did not do that. It didn't revamp the gameplay. It didn't surpass the gameplay of the first game, and that's why it's not that good. But I will say that you might like this game if you're really into fantasy, into typical medieval fantasy, because this game does that very, very good. The problem is it was too much in the shadow of the first game, and it doesn't surpass it. The first game is better by a mile. It's way faster. The gameplay gets more complicated. It's just more fun in general. So yeah. Dragon's Dogma 2 disappointing, honestly. But that will be because every other game was bad in 2024. I will say that maybe this is my top 1 of the. Maybe for me this is the game of the year, right? But I'm not sure. Okay, there's other contenders like Stalker 2 and Shadow Generations. Sonic Adventure, Shadow Generations. That game. So the problem with Dragon's Dogma 2 is that the thief class is fun. Okay, it's probably the strongest class in the game. You still have a school splitter. Okay, that ability that you flip like a saw blade in the air, you do a lot of damage. Like it's Lloyd's Tempest from from the Tales Symphonia. And you do a lot of damage that way. If you hit with the top part of that ability, you hit multiple times, and it is very strong. So yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 Thief is fun. It will give you a fun gameplay experience. And also Warrior, the 200 class has more abilities than in the first game. That is one thing that they did right. The problem is that overall the game feels slower, and that would be my complaint. Dragon's Dogma 1 is still better. Okay, that is the verdict. You should watch Synthetic Man's review of this game as well. That was someone because he probably made the most elaborate review of Taiwanese Cartoon in all of the freaking internet, honestly. The video is like 1 hour long or something, like 1 hour and a half and shit. It covers absolutely everything, every class, everything, the story. He's not missing anything, so you should watch that video. Very interesting in this game. If you buy a game from this year, I think that this should be one of the contenders, probably. Because despite having flaws and not being better than there was one, it's still a fun game, right? Just the character customization is super damn good as well. So consider that, right? It has one of the best character creators in the business so far. Didn't play this game, but I have a friend that plays this game very religiously a lot, and he considers it very fun. The problem is it's not as good at, again, the same problem as Dragon's Dogma 2. Hades 2, or Hades 2, is not as good as Dragon's Dogma, it's not as good as Hades 1, right? So again, this is a game that dwells too much in the channel of the first game, and it doesn't surpass it as well. Helldivers 2, it was really good at launch, then it got Walker with each date and shit, and they messed up the game, and just, I would recommend you to watch all the videos of what happened with this game, with the patches and whatnot in the updates. I would recommend you not to support those devs because of those these cheap use practices, right? Also, they made it for a while. It was like you had to have a PlayStation Network account to play it as well, because PlayStation didn't want to let PC gamers play through Steam this game and whatnot. So yeah, they got really mad about it. A lot of things happened, and the devs of this game, bent the knee to Sony. Basically, that is a full controversy. Indiana Jones and the Ray Circle, it's a terrible game. It's super boring. Indiana Jones feels like an old man. He doesn't move like an athletic Chad and all that shit. Like not even like in the movies. Okay, he's way freaking slower. It has so many things that are unimmersive. Not that I mind that much, but they are immersive in a way that does not enhance the gameplay, and that's terrible. It sucks. And yeah, this is a boring game. It's already that pretty much. It got like on PC, it got like 12,000, okay, 12K players and shit, and then it dropped down massively, or something around there. Okay, I don't remember precisely, but I think that it didn't break above 20K and shit. So yeah, that game sucks. And by the way, the whip, I think that the whip is a really bad stealth weapon because it breaks the sound barrier, right? So it makes that crack sound, and it won't work, right? Anyway, whatever. Not that I mind it much, but the whip is not that swabby in this game. You should watch Synthetic Man's review of this game because it's really good. It covers many of the things. It's very good. It's super bad in my opinion. Paper Mario 1000 Years Old is not even a contender for Game of the Year because this is a remake. No, it doesn't count. Persona 2 Reload, it's a remake. But do I recommend it? Hell yes. This is probably better than Metaphor for Fantasy because it has a better story in my opinion. It has no DI elements as well. Not at all. Okay, not even a little. And it's fun because it's about the philosophical concept of death and overcoming the concept of death, right? About conquering death with death, like that quote of Bruce Lee, for example, which means that the way to not be afraid of death is to accept pretty much for death. And this game explores that deep philosophical concept with every one of the characters that appears in the cast, and that's really good. At the ending of this game, the message at the end of this game is super good, and yeah, I recommend it. And also it proves that video games that still have turn-based combat can still thrive in today's market. Unlike what Squaresoft believes. And they are stupid, and Squaresoft should go back to turn-based. Be it like a tactics game, or be it like a turn-based 4 homies in a row type of game, right? Anyhow, whatever. The gameplay is BS, the Prince of Nigeria. This was really bad. This has those wake DI elements to it, right? Like you don't even play as the Prince of Persia, right? Like it isn't the title of the game, but you don't even play as them. So what they did with this game is like they introduced this motherfucker, this guy that nobody knows with a Killmonger haircut, right? And it's a good Metroidvania, but this game proves that this game flopped, and that proves this game flopping proves that the character design for the main character matters for the player. Honestly, if they don't see the character as relatable, they won't play it. Really simple as that, right? I'm the same way, honestly. Like this game, the cover of this game doesn't motivate me to play it. Maybe I do it one day. I will get this game to my means. Maybe Ubisoft it doesn't deserve my money because Ubisoft never deserves your money, by the way. Ubisoft is one of the corporations that pushes the most for DI and all the bullshit. So I'm extremely willing to give them my money. So this is one of those games. Like I might play it to my own means one day to see what it is about, because I enjoy a good Metroidvania. The problem is the character sucks. Maybe if I can put like a mod that replaces him for the Prince of Persia, the original with long hair, the edgy one, right? I prefer that guy. That is actually cool, right? The other Prince of Persia. I will play this game if there is someone to do that shit to replace him. That would be cool. But yeah, anyway, overrated game. Definitely judge a book by its cover, right? This game sucks because its presentation was terrible. And also like the content of the game is not even that good. Okay, this is not a Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but it's are the mechanics good enough? Kind of. You move kind of fast, and that's fun. I'd rather play Castlevania Symphony of the Night because that's simple. Okay, anything Castlevania is way better than this. Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance, this is a DLC of SMT5, which is not better than Nocturne, by the way. But again, it proves that there's many nominations this year, actually. This surprises me. There's many nominations about turn-based JRPG games, right? And Final Fantasy didn't get any. I think they started so fucking stupid. Whatever. Let's continue. Silent Hill 2, another freaking remake. This is why I say that this year fucking sucked. Silent Hill 2 is good. They made it more of an action game instead of a psychological horror. I would say that now, man. This gets my thumbs down. They ruin a bit of the atmosphere of Silent Hill 2. Again, Synthetic Man has a review of this game. Every single game that if it looks interesting to you, chances are that Synthetic Man got a review about that game. If you want to look more into it about what to buy. So Silent Hill 2, I wouldn't recommend it. It's a remake. It's still interesting if you haven't played the original one. The original one's way too easy, and this one has I would say that it has more smooth gameplay, but it doesn't fit this kind of game anyway because it's a horror game. You should feel weak instead of like a super soldier shit that knows how to handle firearms and all that shit. And games shouldn't be able to do those things. But well, they decided to take the Resident Evil 4 remake route for this game, and I don't think that it suits the kind of atmosphere and story that this game that this game brings to the table. So yeah, I didn't like it because of that. I prefer the classic one. It's scarier and it's more depressive. The mood is more foggy. Everything. Silent Hill is supposed to be super foggy and shit. You're not supposed to see objects rendering in the distance super far and all that shit. Like that made it more edgy. I feel. So yeah, it's not that good. It's not worth buying right here. And it removes a lot of the aesthetics that James Sakumer and also has censored things. And this is a game that shouldn't have been censored because as a work of art, the original Silent Hill 2 is better because it is more atmospheric. It emphasizes more the Kumerism, right? The perversion of James, of the main character in Silent Hill that is supposed to recreate an environment based on your psychology. So yeah, the original Silent Hill 2 is significantly better when it comes to those elements to the story impact. It's one of those games that I recommend on sale. 50% sale, buy it. It's like, for instance, play this, but I still recommend it, kind of sometimes, so it could be good. Branch, Fair, Inslop, World Warcraft and Fair, it's an expansion. This one's like fucking Inslop. Black Market Shadow, okay, it's VR, I don't know, like Fair. VR sucks, by the way, I have a VR headset and it sucks. Black Myth Wukong, and yes, Synthetic Man has a review about this game as well. The combat gets repetitive because you only have one standard combo in the game. Is the game good? Yes, I would say that this is a contender for top 5 because it has challenging boss fights. It feels like a boss rush game.
The problem with the monkey game,
the problem is that it's not fun to fight the normie enemies, right? Like the trash mobs that come before the boss. Usually they are not worth fighting. It's better to skip them and just focus on the boss. The game can encourages you to do that approach pretty much. So the core parts of the game are really lame. The boss fights are really fun, and some of them very unique. So yeah, where I recommend it, again, it's one of those games that I would recommend on sale. Call of Duty on Fair, thankfully. It's always the same fucking game. Channel is on the Fair, Inslop. Diablo fucking sucks, but Elon Musk is really good at this game, but yeah, it sucks. No, I wouldn't recommend it. Dragon Age Belligard, it's what I've been saying about DI and all that shit, and all the woke queer ideology, right? Dragon Age Belligard is the game, it's a game that is only about queer ideology, right? This game is absolutely awful. It is one of the worst fantasy universes ever fucking created because of the woke DI bullshit that they inject into the story. The gameplay is super fucking mid. It does nothing new. The warrior class is very boring. I would recommend you to play as a thief if you play this fucking game. Even the fucking wizard is boring as well. So yeah, no, definitely do not get this game under any fucking circumstance. Unless you get gifted the fucking game or you get it through your own means if you want to see how cringe the story is. Because holy shit, I never seen a game have a worse, more butchered story than this bullshit. This is the worst fucking story for a fantasy video that I fucking seen in my life. So yeah, this game is fucking full of DI and such. It's terrible. The story is absolutely fucking bonkers bullshit. It's absolute fucking dog shit.
It's a definition of woke, right? It's square ideology, plain and simple, okay? And it leads to making a horrible story.
Super bad. If it was a comedy game, it would be way better. So yeah, Dragon Age Belligard sucks. Don't buy the game, definitely not. Yeah. Dragon Quest 3 Remake, I would recommend it. If you have never experienced in your life a job class system, like in Final Fantasy 5 or any other Final Fantasy games, which I recommend in my tier list, for example, in my Final Fantasy tier list that I did months ago, yeah, I would recommend you to play Dragon Quest 3 to get familiarized with that system. It's really fun, I think. And when I say that this is the best version of even though it's kind of censored, when I say this is the best version of Dragon Quest 3, yes, because of the wholly overworld, the looks, everything. This game proves a lot of things right. Like it proves that it's still possible to make an overworld map, in a JRPG game and have yourself travel through it. And it is still fun, right? You don't need to freaking necessarily connect all the areas realistically. It's a fun game. You have the class system. I highly recommend you to start with Thief for most of your characters because Thief gives you the highest speed, and then you can switch classes and you inherit the high speed of the Thief to other classes, right? It will smoothen the game well. Final Fantasy VII Revered. Will be the game of the year? I think that maybe because everything was super sloppy, super bad. So yeah, was this a good game? It was good enough. The problem is that they censored stuff, that like the stuff that I mentioned in my Final Fantasy tier list video. The suicide of Dyne, the death of Iris is not as dramatic as either. None of that. And the open world panning is not that good in my opinion. If you play it linearly, it's a fun experience, I would say. The problem is that it's a fucking PS, Sony exclusive and shit. PlayStation exclusive, and I don't support that company anymore. PlayStation is super DI infected, and I don't recommend you supporting them. Buying a whole console also for only this game, it seems like such a freaking waste. I don't recommend you to do it. So no, get it through your own means if you can, or you wait till it drops for PC. Final Fantasy Downtrail, from what I hear, I don't play MMOs a lot, but from what I hear, it killed Final Fantasy 14, so there you go. That's my review of it. Final Fantasy 16, I already said everything that I had to say in my Final Fantasy trailers. It's a terrible fucking game, it's not even turn-based, so Final Fantasy has no job system, no elements, no fucking elemental weaknesses, nothing. It's just a fucking Devil May Cry with a Final Fantasy game skin. That's it, over it. It's terrible. Really, really freaking bad. Don't play this fucking game. Why? Because I don't want such concepts supported, so they keep doing them. I want Josh P to see that this doesn't sound that Final Fantasy must return more to its roots very much, and call them type, right? I hope that they stay there. By the way, that video of how to fix Final Fantasy is coming. It will come one day. Okay, don't worry, anyways. I know. I have it in mind. Don't worry. Frostpunk is like semi-indie slot, but I heard that it's really good. You know, it's like a Sim City that you have to manage, but it's in a frosty environment that it's super harsh, and you have to survive for as long as possible. The concept seems fun. I might try it one day. I have Frostpunk 1 on Epic Games because I got it for free, and I might try it, but I don't know what this game is about. I assume that Frostpunk 2 is part of the same, so I don't care, right? It would make to my top 5 of the year. Legacy of Kain Remastered. I hear that those games are fun, but again, it's just a fucking remaster. It's not a contender for a game of the year. Because of that. Like the Dragon Leaf in the Wild, this is another game that proves that turn-based RPGs are not dead, and Squaresoft keeps eating shit. Squaresoft keeps eating shit because it doesn't understand that turn-based RPGs are not yet extinct. They're still fun. Versus Capcom is a really good fighting game series, but again, this is just a remake. It's just a bundle, right? With all the Marvel's Capcom fighting games. I hear this one's good. Hero Romance Society is good, but I haven't tried. Stellar Blade. It's pretty much a beat 'em up. It takes inspiration a little bit from the Souls games, you know, from like Elden Ring and such games, from Souls here, from Dark Souls and so on, with its difficulty, a little bit, but I would say that it's more like Nier Automata and more like a beat 'em up kind of game, more like Devil May Cry actually. I would say that it's fun because of the aesthetic. The main character is attractive, and also the music of this game is really freaking good. So would I recommend buying it? Maybe on sale. It doesn't make it to the top 5 of the year for me, in all honesty. But it's a decent game. I would like to have it. I watch a streamer play it, you know, from start to finish. It's decent. It's very freaking decent. Guns are very OP in Stellar Blade. You know, the gun arm. You have a gun arm. It's your net arm upgrade that you get later, and you can absolutely train bosses with that shit. If you have never introduced yourself into the Dark Souls type of games, the best thing that you can do is either play Dark Souls 1 or Demon Souls really, or you can play Stellar Blade. Because Stellar Blade is like in between a beat 'em up game and in between Dark Souls as well. It's like half and half pretty much, and that's how it feels. And like the character is pretty, you know, even that's the name of the performance. She's hot, okay, and it showcases that K games, okay, Korean games have a lot of future in the cards for them. They've been popping out a lot of surprisingly pretty good games, if you ask me. For example, another game that I would recommend that is Korean, but that was the past year, is Lies of P. Lies of P is really fun. And it was also like a Souls-like, right? Stellar Blade is kind of Souls-like. This game is fun. I would recommend it on sale. That's it. Do you play this one? Inslop? Oh, by the way, the creator of this game, he's a black developer. And he got really mad because his game is sold because the protagonist, nobody related to his black protagonist. It's actually a Metroidvania set in Africa, which finally, you know, it's an original concept, you know, and more power to you, you know, make whatever game that you want to. If you want to make a game inspired in African history, I'll get that's super original actually. The problem is nobody cares because nobody can relate to your character, dude. And that is a fact of gaming. The majority of gamers are white boys or like myself, or freaking or Asian guys, you know, like the whole Chinese market pretty much, which is now the biggest market in game, really, you know, China. China's huge. So yeah, it didn't sell because of that. And I hear that I heard an interview where the developer complains about his game failing, you know, his game flopping, because of the protagonist and all shit, and then the story like, oh no, it failed because the audiences are racist and shit. Like, no, bro, it was because it wasn't interesting enough. Let's be real, man. Tekken 8 is one of those fighting games that will be freaking dead in like 1 or 2 years. The community will dwindle a lot, so I recommend you investing in this. These games usually get carried by having a really good guest character that attracts new players. But I don't recommend you getting into Tekken. I really don't, man. I'd rather get into Street Fighter 6 than this. Unicorn Overlord, I heard really good things about this game. It is like Fire Emblem. I will say that maybe if I played this game, this would make it this would be in my top 5 if I did play this game. I love Fire Emblem type of games. Warhammer 40k Space Marine, it's really good. The problem is that it's very short. It's like less than 10 hours or something. Except if you play in the maximum in the highest difficulty. I heard that it's really good. It's just it's Warhammer, you know. It's a space fascist aesthetics very much, and that's really fun. I love the space imperial aesthetic. I love it. I absolutely freaking love it. It's a high T game. Okay, it's a high fucking testosterone game. Sure. The problem is that it's very short. It's like 5 to 10 hours. On the highest difficulty, it's more like 10 hours. You know, 8 hours to 10 hours around there. You will like this game if you like third person shooters, and if you are into third person beat 'em ups as well, because it has a lot of that element, like the Dynasty Warriors, where you can get your plasma sword and you can slash all the freaking mobs of enemies. So it's really good as a power fantasy. Also, you get a jetpack.
that makes you jump super fucking high into the air and then land with fucking with like a superhero landing that sends a fucking shockwave to the ground. And it's very fun to use that ability there. So yeah, would I recommend this game? Yeah, it will be one of those games that I recommend to say. Not a contender for top 5 in my opinion of this year. So for me, my game of the year, if I were to choose like what is my top 1 game of the year, it would be like possibly, I would think that it would be like a toss-up between Dragon's Dogma 2 because everything else sucked. At least the character customization they're super fucking good. Or it would be freaking maybe Stalker 2, because Stalker 2, even though it has a lot of defects, what they call Euro Yank, the problem is that it launched incomplete and yeah, the enemies were bullet sponges, the prices of weapons were super fucking high. So my game of the year would be probably Stalker 2 because I think that it can be fixed with mods 2 years from now. And so yeah, and also if you're itching, for gunplay video games, that would be my recommendation. Stalker 2, get into Stalker 2. My game of the year would be Stalker 2, then Dragon's Dogma 2, then possibly, or well, no, here's my game of the year honestly, because I like the character and I like gameplay over everything else, right? Over atmosphere, graphics, even story sometimes. But some doesn't make exceptions if the story's super freaking good. But I would put like Shadow Generations on top, and then freaking Stalker 2, then maybe Dragon's Dogma 2, and yeah, it will be something like that. Then Metaphor with Fantasia because it's an RPG game, and then maybe Unicorn Overlord at the bottom in my top 5. So I'm going to make like a list because everything else doesn't appeal to me that much. Elden Ring's DLC, you have to be pretty much almost at the end game to access it, so it doesn't count in my opinion. It's just Elden Ring, right? Like this fucking list sucked, man. Or maybe Persona 3 would be like my number 5 on my top 5 list of this year. So yeah, this year was really sad honestly when it comes to games. Very freaking disappointing, super disappointing. So yeah, this is the video. I swear I'm going to make that Call to Fix Final Fantasy video. It's just that I'm scripting right now about that video because it's a lot. I said that it was going to be hard, and it is. You have to make a lot of notes. I have some of the story in mind, okay? So some concepts for the story in mind, all those things, okay? Gameways. So yeah, so it's not going to be easy. It's not easy to fix Final Fantasy, but it's possible, okay? If many games this year that were turn-based sold, it means that Final Fantasy can return to its roots and be fixed in that way, with turn-based combat. Be it like tactics or be it like a standard RPG. We will see. I will see with what I settle, right? So yeah, this video, this year in gaming, disappointed. And that's all I have to say. Later.